Israel denies independent media access into Gaza, so the full extent of the military's operation is difficult to quantify. But the view from above can give us indications. The satellite imagery taken in just the last few days shows what has been happening. We're talking about this area in northern Gaza. Now, first, we're going to rewind to the 29th of September. This is before Israel intensified its ground offensive in the area. And we're going to pay attention to these areas in yellow and in orange. Yellow will show areas that have been cleared. Orange will show damaged or destroyed buildings. And this image was taken on the 12th of November. As large areas to the west of the Jabalia refugee camp have been cleared, as dozens of buildings can be seen either partially or fully destroyed here in those orange boxes. Now, based on similar sorts of open source analysis, Human Rights Watch has published a new report. And on the destruction, it says that the forced displacement is widespread, systematic and intentional, and amounts to a crime against humanity. Now, we put that allegation to the Israel Defense Forces along with our own analysis, and they told us there is no IDF doctrine that aims to cause maximal damage to civilian infrastructure, regardless of military necessity. IDF actions are based on military necessity and in accordance with international law. We can also use satellite imagery to see how land is being cleared on the east of the Strip. This shows existing corridors here, and we're going to talk about new activity up in the north. Now, again, let's go back to the 27th of September, see what things were like before. Here we are. Here is the perimeter of Gaza. And we go to the 12th of November, this latest imagery. We can see what's happening. You can see here these yellow arrows point to new pathways, and this orange area is an area that has been cleared. Now, why is that significant? Well, it could offer a potential access corridor across the territory. And the UK's ambassador to the UN, Barbara Woodward, has raised concerns about what is happening, telling the Security Council that northern Gaza must not be cut off from the south. According to Human Rights Watch, that indicates that at least in the buffer zones, there is security corridors in Gaza. The Israeli authorities are pursuing a policy of ethnic cleansing. And the Israel Defense Forces told us again, the IDF is fully committed to respecting all applicable international legal obligations, including the law of armed conflict. Considerations and obligations with respect to proportionality and military advantage are evaluated and applied on a case-by-case basis. At the same time, northern Gaza has seen mass evacuations. The Israeli military has faced criticism over the orders given to civilians and also the lack of provisions in the Al-Mawasi humanitarian zone in the south. In a 5-day period in October, our analysis found that Israel evacuated 90% of North Gaza. And this is what those evacuation orders look like. And note that none of these say when the order was issued, how long it will last, when it will expire, and thus when civilians might return home. Now, Human Rights Watch has criticised this, saying that Israel has not, however, secured the safety of displaced Palestinians in Gaza in any meaningful way. It has instead created an evacuation system that has caused widespread terror and confusion, misery and anxiety. And the IDF said that since the beginning of the war, the IDF has been working in various ways to evacuate the civilian population in proximity to the combat zone prior to attacks, making significant efforts to mitigate harm to civilians. Every civilian in Gaza can stay informed at any given moment about designated humanitarian areas and how to reach them. The IDF is committed to international law and operates accordingly. That is all the bird's eye view, satellite imagery from space. People in Gaza are living and dying in the reality on the ground.